Let's begin what's trending, with reactions trailing the arrest of self-proclaimed Prime Minister of Biafra Republic, Simon Ekpa, who was arrested on Thursday by authorities in Finland. Ekpa was arrested with 4 others on suspicion of inciting crimes with terrorist intent through separatist propaganda on social media. The Finnish authorities say that Ekpa used his platform to advocate for violence in southeastern Nigeria with his online rhetoric, fueling attacks on civilians and government forces, and also financing of terrorist activities with investigations tracing back to August 2021. I'm Vimbai Rufai, Dr. Bati. I wasn't here when you guys spoke with your guest this morning, but allegedly Simon Ekpa has denied being the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic in court. I believe that he had described himself as an ordinary member of IPOB, which is quite strange because, Vimba, you know that we have seen Simon Ekpa in a lot of his videos, claiming to be, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic. So, I think that he did say in court that, he denied that he is the head. He's just an IPOB member. But let me take some reactions. This has, generated some reactions. This person wrote, Simon Ekpa in court. Prosecuting counsel, you are the Biafran Prime Minister? Simon Ekpa says, no, my lord, I am not. Prosecuting counsel says, what are you then? Simon Ekpa says, I am a content creator. Prosecuting counsel says, do you have any proof? Well, here's proof, Simon Ekpa. Let's play up that video. This was just cruise yesterday. I laughed so hard when I saw that tweet. And those videos circulating, how come you are no longer the head of, IPOB at this moment? But also, let me take another reaction. This is from Brother Bernard, who wrote, Simon Ekpa's sit-at-home has begun. Only that this time, he's not sitting at home, but in prison. He spends the next few years feeling what Indigbo felt every Monday. For every day he did sit at home, he'd spend a week of it in jail. Karma is real. Well, all right, we know that the Nigerian military has called for the extradition of Simon Ekpa. His arrest was hailed through its Director of Media Defense Operation, Major General Edward Buba, who welcomed the international cooperation in the fight against terrorism, saying that the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, had long called for Ekpa's arrest due to his role in fueling terrorism in the southeast.
We have repeatedly complained about the issue of Simon Ekpa. He is in Finland. The Finnish government are giving him all the support, and he's doing what he's doing. Comments he's making, people are being killed, and nothing is being done. And this is democracy. If the European Union is the one supporting democracy, and this is happening and they're not taking action, then they don't mean well for Nigeria. We have said that in clear terms. We need to diplomatically find means of getting him out of whatever it is that he's doing. He must be arrested, he must be prosecuted. Look at it from the other way. Assuming he is in Nigeria and he's doing that to the Finnish government, you think the European Union will allow that happen? They definitely will not. So why are they allowing him to do what he's doing? And people like him that are doing such things.
All right, Dr. Betty, possibility of an extradition.
Okay, we had 2 guests earlier on before you joined us, Vincent Yekudu and also Ezeala. And Ezeala, who is a lawyer, pointed out that there is no bilateral extradition treaty between Nigeria and Finland. And to that extent, it may be difficult to pursue the extradition. Now, the Chief of Defense Staff has expressed his opinion, and I think it's a valid opinion. But it's also a matter that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs should take an interest in, and also specifically the Attorney General of the Federation. For what reason? For the reason that Nigeria has full rights to defend, protect its sovereignty and to find every means possible to use diplomatic channels to make sure that somebody does not hide in Finland to destabilize Nigeria. Number two is that the Finland Department of National Investigation said that what they are dealing with is terrorism with an intent to commit crime and also financing of terrorism. Now, that in itself is an international crime, and Finland also has a responsibility to deal with that. Number three is to say to everybody that, look, Simon Ekpa, whatever may have been his offense, must also be subjected to due process. In 2023, when he said people should not go out to vote in Nigeria, he was apprehended by the Finnish authorities, but he was again released. But I make the point that his rights should be respected because there are other issues involved about human rights, about international crime, as Onyekwelu, who was on this program earlier today, also pointed out. I make that point because I've seen a comment by our friend Jesu Tega Onakpasa, who says Simon Ekpa should not just be extradited, he should be shot. And I'm surprised at that that a lawyer will recommend extrajudicial execution. But I guess Jesu Tega Onakpasa was speaking out of passion. Now, it is now left to the Finnish authorities who are accusing him of crimes of terrorism to prove that he's guilty as charged, but he's innocent until that is proven.
Yeah.
Because, he who alleges must prove. So they have to prove it. I don't know what kind of jurisprudential system that they use, but here, what they say is that if you allege, you prove it. At the end of the day, as to the details about whether it's an ordinary member of IPOB or a factional leader of IPOB or whatever, I don't want to get into those details. Those are not important. What is important is the sovereignty of Nigeria, the security of Nigeria, and the need for international cooperation in addressing issues of terrorism.
I love that. The need for international cooperation. Even here in Nigeria, we have been talking about what needs to be done in the southeast so that there will be, that sort of peace. There have been calls for, what they've said, Nnamdi Kanu should be released because of, peace in the southeast, whether or not it would happen, or what's your take on that?
So for me, a couple of things have to be understood. Number one, I concur with the fact that, yes, you need to follow the full path of the law. I mean, he has not been convicted yet. The process has just started. We're going to hear his own side. He's going to go through the legal process and the legalese. I understand the point of the Nigerian government trying to say he should be extradited. And you see, this is why we keep on talking about the fact that you need an ambassador on ground. We don't have an ambassador on ground in Finland. So even most of the work you think you'll be able to push as regards liaising with the Finnish authorities, I'm not sure that's going to be smooth sailing yet. You have some representative there, but it's not as having a substantive ambassador on ground. Secondly, I think my most important point is, whatever is done, I want peace in the Southeast.
That's the most important point.
And that's why I asked a question from the guest that was here, that will this bring about peace in the Southeast? Sovereignty and all of that is at the discretion of the nation. I mean, we saw what ordinary Benin Republic even did to Nigeria in the case of Sunday Igboho here. So as regards talk about extradition, I think that's a long call. I think they were just celebrating. But the substantive part of the matter is the destruction of life and property.
That's the main point.
In the Southeast. And is it worth it? So please, anybody that is perpetrating that chaos should stop it.
Yeah, but we have had a lot of stories here. We've taken a lot of stories here about that.
My point is the marginalization also of every part of this country, the Southeast and all of that. Because be it Simon Ekpa or be it Nnamdi Kanu, be it Ralph Uwazurike, they are just symptoms of this marginalization that date back to the 60s in this country. The lack of justice.
Right. All right.
And the things that happened then that we did not listen to.
Right.
The way politicians divided this country because of their own selfish benefits. Right. And that's what we should move away from.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I wanted to just touch more on the issues in the Southeast. Yesterday, Dr. Abati, we took this story, and there was a flurry of reactions about whether or not the Igbo people sell land to outsiders. I don't know if you would like to address that, because there were a lot of, people from the Southeast saying that it is not true.
No, I have no further comments on that subject.
Okay.
I was very clear yesterday. I was very specific. I made my point. I provided the context in which I was speaking. If people have a selective hearing, that is their problem.
Well,
not mine.
one of the comments is that you cannot paint a whole tribe with one brush, and they have debunked
Replay the tape again.
Well,
replay the tape.
No,
I was
it's not.
specific about what I said. I provided context.
Right.
Nobody should tell me any nonsense.
Well,
if
I
people
think
have
that
a
it
different
is our
opinion,
duty.
they are entitled. No, there's no nonsense duty.
I think it's our duty
If people have a different opinion, they have anthropological evidence to support it. They should say so.
Well,
it's not
all
for
right.
me to reverse myself.
No. I was just saying to clarify.
Except you are expressing your own opinion.
No,
and then I will come after you and say you are
there's been
wrong.
a flurry of reactions.
Yes.
And I have to present
That
it. It
comes
is my
with
duty.
the job. That
Of
comes
course.
with the job.
It is my duty.
It's a free country.
It is my duty to present the reactions of the Nigerian people.
And not to come and challenge me.
Absolutely not. I asked you if you would like to comment. I asked if you would like to comment.
I've told you.
Well, the conversation is that a whole tribe cannot be painted with one man's experience. We'll take an